Aries. This is an astrological forecast for you specifically. This is geared all towards that masculine, aggressive Mars energy that you deal with. Mars, the god of war, the energy, the vitality of the animal nature is your energy and your drive. This is the impulse to act and to be in whatever level you feel it at. So let's get into the analysis of this upcoming week. So this is a big week for you, Aries. I mean this because, as all astrologers will let you know, the archetype of Mars from the point of view of Earth is moving into Aries come really January 1st, we can say, but it depends on where you're at on the globe. In Los Angeles Pacific Standard Time, for example, this is at 6 p.m. in the evening approximately. In most of the globe, it's already January 1st by then. So the synchronicity of January 1st, 2019, beginning with Mars, the archetype of the personal will, the outward going energy, the subjective awareness of that which we want and are acting upon that, are striving towards that. This energy is being birthed, a new cycle is being begun come this Tuesday, January 1st. The transit of Mars around the zodiac lasts approximately 1.8 years, so almost 2 years. So this journey is pretty significant. And if you think about the archetype of Mars, this is the quote-unquote god of war. This is the desire. This is the quote-unquote lower octave of Pluto. And as some of you might know, some of you that don't know, I practice what has been called evolutionary astrology, which takes on the archetype of Pluto, which correlates to the underworld and to the soul and to the content within beneath the threshold of consciousness. That aspect, that deep depth within the psyche, is where our soul rests and that which we are remembering. And we are in touch with that aspect of ourselves. These egos are in touch with that aspect of ourselves, that deep spiritual soul, through desire. So when we feel called to act upon something, when we feel like we should do something, like we want something, this is the call of spirit. This is the call of the soul towards something that's attractive to the soul. The soul is attracted to it for a reason. There's something that the soul yearns for, to grow, to evolve, to integrate something which this symbol, whatever this thing desired, represents to the self, to the soul. So this initiation of a new cycle of Mars in your sign Aries means for the collective a brand new beginning, in terms of feeling like we're regaining a new task. We're being downloaded with a new desire. And for you, Aries, it affects you the most. Let's get real. Like, this is your energy. You thrive on Mars. Aggression, masculine, outward going expression, this fire to be, like a match being lit up instantaneously. That's your fire. That's Mars. It's beginning again, and it's at its home for the most of January. From January 1st to approximately, if I remember correctly, February 14. So for this whole time, there's this fire, this creative will to be that's initiating a new cycle. And remember, this is a new impulse. So there's something new that you want to discover about yourself. There's something new to discover about yourself. And let's remember that during the last few days of Mars' transit in Pisces, it went through this conjunction with Chiron. And these two in conjunction, and then a few days later, Mars beginning a brand new cycle on January 1st, at the same time that Saturn and the Sun conjunct in Capricorn.
all this synchronizes. It's almost like all the dials fall at the right place at the right time, and it's like everything clicks in place. And so January 1st is Tuesday for you, Aries. It's time to begin to recreate your structure and foundations. Saturn conjunct the Sun in Capricorn represents this for all of us, a restructuring of our foundations. And this Mars in Aries is this energy, this excitement, this will and desire that wants to like do things all over again. It's like, I'm ready to begin to recreate myself. And you as an Aries feel this so potently in your body, in your soul, in your mind, like in your whole energy. It's like, you know how during March, your season, late March, early April, early mid-April, it's like you feel like you're in your zone because that's your season. This time of Mars in Aries can be like that for you. Mars is like, if anything, it's almost like even further stimulated. This energy is further intensified. Mars is the aggression, that masculine will. So there's this ignition to begin a new cycle for you. And it has to do with recreating structures. Why? Because the sun, spirit, life, the heartbeat of the solar system falls in the conjunction with Saturn, meaning there's a restructuring. Remember, Saturn is that cross of the four elements above the crescent or the moon of personality. So it represents what these egos and these incarnations have to adhere to, these laws, these responsibilities, our duties, our dharma, these things that we have to answer to and that we feel a sense of responsibility towards. It's like we have the energy to begin anew and to recreate the structure with those priorities in mind. And remember, there's going to be a lot of Capricorn energy. This week we're going to have Saturn, Pluto, the Sun. Mercury is going to enter Capricorn on the 4th of January. So we're going to have 40 to 50% at one point once the moon also enters into Capricorn later on next week. We'll have 50% of the cosmos in this Capricorn energy. And this is interesting for you to, Aries, to notice that while there is this energizing Mars and Aries energy, mid-January, that energy and that Capricorn stellium of Mercury, Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node is going to start creating 90-degree angles with that Mars and Aries energy. What this means and translates is there's going to be this tug and pull between this fire to discover and to do things that are completely new. Like jumping head and first and being like, fuck it, I'm going to go for it and try it out. At the same time, there's an aspect, there's like a reservedness, a cautiousness, a more like of this elder within that's like, wait, hang on. Let's take a few steps back. Let's look at the big view. Let's really brainstorm this and strategize and make a plan. At the same time, you do have that excitement and that energy. Mars in Aries is going to give you that energy, especially for you, Aries. But at the same time, there's this inner elder that's like, hold on, son. Hold on, baby. Like, we got to do this the proper way. So there's this, work with the energies of Saturn and Mars. Mars is like, fucking do it. Go, especially in Aries. Just do it. And Saturn is like, wait, hang on. What's the most essential? What's the highest priority? What'll make this last and this foundation have really a long-term life, like not something that's spontaneous. And you know, Aries likes to do things spontaneously, instantaneously, and like I use that analogy of a match fire, like a fire lit up by a match, just comes and goes quickly, excitable, lively. Yes, but at the same time, this is why it just said that they square each other. They have a tension, this Capricorn energy, which is more grounding, earthy, down to earth, practical, slow moving, steady, strategizing, long-term insight. Aries is more short-sighted. It's more impulsive. It's more like, boom, let's just go. Like it's not even thinking, it's just doing. So there's this tug and pull between these two energies. It's just good to keep in mind, to meditate sometimes, and to know how to utilize that energy, because make the best of that fire that you're feeling right now, Aries. It's time, especially with it being January 1st, the first week of 2019, to begin things that'll give you a new sense of self. Those things you've been knowing that you need to do, that you should do, that you want to do, not because anybody says you should do, but because you want to do it for yourself, and it'll make you feel like you're elevating yourself and you're transcending your personal limitations, which Saturn represents. Personal limitations, things that are keeping you where you are at, but in a way, overcoming these limitations will only expand your sense of self. One more thing. On January 5th, Friday, we have a new moon / partial solar eclipse, with the moon covering partially the sun's light in Capricorn's 15th degree. This is a partial eclipse, so the light of spirit, the light of the self, is being dimly lit for a short amount of time. In this sign of Capricorn, something to note about this too is that when you look at the whole solar system and look at it, the angles, the geometric angles, the only one that's created is that of a 30-degree angle with Neptune. This is in astrology a sextile, which represents an opportunity to utilize and to work with these two archetypes. This new moon, in other words, in Capricorn, which is again the energy of us recreating a social persona, recreating our identity in front of our community, culture, and society. And like I have mentioned, I think that now, like, the world lives on social media or on the internet. So in 2019, it's really asking yourself, who are you? Do you have a presence? Do you have an infrastructure? Is your business online? Do you have a brand? Is who you are, have solid foundations? Really, whether you're on social media or not, because I don't want to push that on everybody, it's an energy that asks ourselves, who do you want to be and what do you want to do? Not just within yourself, because that's more Aries energy, that's Mars energies, like, this is who I am just as an individual me. Capricorn is, this is who I am in front of others. This is my career, my profession, my function within the collective. So this new moon beginning in that, it's like just for a short while, we're letting go and in darkness of these old patterns in which we have done that. Establish security in our work, in our profession, letting go. There's definitely something moving into darkness. It's almost like we're letting it go into the abyss and releasing it and beginning anew. This Capricorn energy is so strong, especially with this partial solar eclipse. It was already with like 60% of the planets in Capricorn. The sun conjunct Saturn in Capricorn. And this partial solar eclipse, like, fuck. Seriously? This is the type of synchronicities that us as stargazers and astrologers look at. It's just too coincidental. There's some type of design here, like, most definitely, right? Anyways, this energy has us just ask ourselves, who do we want to be in our community and collective? How do we want to embody and speak and express our truth? Not just as personal individuals, but as participants in this collective evolution, as participants in
society and culture, and this galactic experience that we share in this human form.
And this sextile that's created between this new moon and the Neptune in Pisces energy symbolizes, again, Neptune is the cosmic sea. It is that life, that stream of consciousness that is under and beneath this physical material reality, which is really just Maya, an illusion, right? So Neptune is that real spiritual life behind the veil. This is Neptune. And forming a sextile with this new moon in Capricorn. Again, Capricorn is the most grounding, or one of the most grounding and practical and down-to-earth energies. And working with the most highest and spiritual and cosmic and subtle, we are aligning the most subtle and grounding it back into this earth. It's like the businessman, the politician has regained and used spirituality, and there's an opportunity, and I say this slowly and clearly, opportunity, because trines reflect blessings that come effortlessly. Sextiles, which this is an opportunity. We have to put effort into it. There has to be some type of action, mindfulness, and actions taken to fulfill upon this. So the veil is thin. You can work with the subtle realms. You can work with that energy. You can manifest with that. There's a spirituality to our businesses, to our ventures, to our ambitions, and to our personas in our culture, society. And as a consequence, so our careers, professions, and work. So, Aries, this week, you feel that fire. You feel so energized, especially come Tuesday. It's going to be like, holy crap, okay. And for the whole month until February 14th. But mid-January, and I'll get more into this on the next weekly update, and I will be doing these weekly, there's going to be like this tug and pull between that earth and fire. And it's going to be felt more next week. This week, it's like initiating, and it's building momentum until early mid next week, when it's like now there's this grounding, practical, okay, these are the things that I need to take care of. And then there's this fire of just like, you want to go in every direction, but you have to be strategic about it. So that's the energy for you, Aries, for this week, working with Saturn and working with Mars. This excitability that you're feeling, and also the sense of duty and responsibility. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this audio format of your weekly horoscope, Aries, and subscribe if you're into this. I will be publishing these weekly. This is my first one. I will definitely aim to have these done come Sunday, more early part of the day than late in the evening, but I hope you enjoyed. This is Revan, otherwise known as Cosmic Alignment. And I hope you have an amazing 2019, Aries. Fucking do it. See ya.